Yeah, it's a relief to get it over the line. It's been a long and tortuous route. I first expressed our interest back in October last year, 2nd of October, when I wrote to David Allen, and there have been many ups and downs since then when I've thought it wouldn't happen and then it would. But it's an absolute relief. We're really happy to be able to try and make this club sustainable for the future. We've got some really good directors that are all fans of the club, and we all want to make it work. You know, want to sustain it for the future. We are the custodians of this football club for the time being.
And in terms of the time that you picked it up, Dave Allen obviously has been very generous in passing it over in a debt-free situation. So it's only the loans from the councils.
That's right.
To the debt for lock, stock and barrel, because a lot of people will be in doubt what it means. But it is lock, stock and barrel, everything freehold on the stadium. But you also pick up the club at a time where for the last year or two it's been making 7-figure losses, and it also is at the lowest ebb from a football perspective as well. So how are you looking to bring those two opposites really together to try and make it sustainable, the word that you use, Mark?
Yeah, it is a big challenge, but we've put together a very robust business plan. We've made certain assumptions on that. We think it's workable. We've got a great team to help us do that. We want to involve our supporters. We want to bring volunteers in to help the club. And we're looking forward to the future. There will be some bumps along the way, but we're confident that we've got the skills and the knowledge to be able to get over those.
Mike, what does it mean to you personally to be the chairman of the club?
Very privileged. I've been a supporter of this football club since I was about 6 or 7, when my dad first took me down to Saltergate and I stood on the cross street end. So to be able to help contribute towards its future and to make it sustainable and hopefully successful, because we've not come along just to take the club and sit with it as it is. Sustainability is a key factor for us, but success is as well, and we will want success. We have appointed John Pemberton as our manager, and I've spoken with John. He's very, very enthusiastic. He wants to work with the senior management team and the board to make this successful, and we're already looking at new players, and we'll be bringing those in and making some announcements in the near future.
And what qualities do you think the trust will bring to the club?
I think you only need to look at the success that the trust has had across the way. I was chairman of the trust. I was appointed 5 years ago. Our turnover was around about £50,000, operating from a little porter cabin at the back here. It now employs over 50 people. It has a turnover of over £1 million a year. It's won national awards. I mean, the staff over there are fantastic. They're being well led by John Crute. The board of trustees over there, which 6 of them will be directors of the football club, have got numerous skills. We have a doctor of psychology, who we probably will need by Christmas, I think. But we also have an expert in accessibility. We want to make it one of the most accessible stadiums in the country. We have somebody who's an expert in health and education. We have an MBE who's got specialists for safeguarding and for children's services and all of that sort of thing. The guy who built the stadium and designed it is also one of our directors. So we have quite a plethora of skills. My speciality is accountancy. I'm a financial accountant and ex-chief executive. So there's a lot of skill and a lot of talent on the board, and we think we can bring that to bear to make this a successful venture for us.
And just on the manager, and is that signed, sealed, all done, or are we expecting an announcement?
We've not signed a contract with John. We will make an announcement, but I have spoken to him at length last week, and we came to an arrangement with him. He obviously had a lot of questions. I think we allayed the fears that he might have had. He's very enthusiastic. He's been on to agents all week. He's been ringing me on a regular basis. And we'll sit down with John maybe this afternoon or early next week and get it all put to bed.
The club's back in hands of people that care for fans.
Absolutely. It is, and that, for me, is one of the most important things. You have 6 supporters as directors. You know, we've got different skills in terms of what we bring to the table, but we are all first and foremost Chesterfield supporters and have been season ticket holders for many years.
Yeah, a few of us in here today were involved with CFSS 2001.
Excellent. Sorry?
Full circle from six.
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Was there any time when you thought this wouldn't happen? It's been a long journey. hasn't
Oh,
it?
once or twice. Once or twice. We found it tough once or twice, and I've had a few sleepless nights over this. But yesterday evening, when I was told by our solicitor it was finally over the line, the relief was there, and the joy, because I think we can actually make this a success and give the fans, give the club back to the fans, and make it a true community club, because that's what we want to do. We've done a fantastic job over the way in getting into the community, and it should have its synergy with the football club. They should work hand in glove, and that's not particularly happened over the last 5 years, but it will do from now.
One final one from me, the word now is stability,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Stability going forward, making sure that we don't rely on somebody with a heavy checkbook. It's not all about money. It's about everybody working for the same goal, from the boardroom right through to the cleaners on the ground. And that's what we'll attempt to do. We'll be talking to the staff in the coming days, and we'll hope to motivate them, put their minds at rest, and make sure that everybody wants this football club to be successful.
You've talked a lot about putting people's minds at rest. What's your message to the supporters that are watching and listening?
My message to the supporters is, please come along and support us. Invest in the club. We will be holding some question and answer sessions over the next couple of weeks, where they'll be able to come in, meet the board of directors, they'll be able to meet the manager, and they'll be able to ask all the questions that they need to ask, and hopefully we'll be able to put their mind at rest at that.
Every transaction has two sides, yourself and the previous owner, Mr. Allen. You were talking about money. Obviously a lot of money's been thrown at the club for the last 10 years. How hard a hit has the previous owner taken?
I think that you wouldn't expect me to answer that one, Phil. At the request of the seller, we've decided, he's insisted that the deal is kept secret. He wants confidentiality, and I think that we should respect that.
How much are you going to depend, though, of course, now on the contributions of supporters financially, not just to ticket sales, but also getting involved in other ways, spending in the club shop, etc., and indeed the concourses too?
Yeah, we would love the supporters to get behind us and get involved, but it's not a one-way thing. We expect to give a lot back to the supporters. We expect to give them success as a football club over a period of time. One of the things that we will do is appoint key personnel to make sure that things like conference and banqueting and marketing and sponsorship and advertising are maximised, because we need to do that. The club needs to stand on its own 2 feet, so it's got to have good, solid income streams, and it's got to be efficient in the way that it operates, and we'll be making sure with the talent that we've got that we get that.
And that word efficiency, is that why you brought out the charter that we see at either side of you at the moment?
Is that why we've...
The word efficiency, is that why you decided to publish this charter, really, to
Yeah.
that clarity, really?
Well, I mean, that is there because we want people to be aware of what we're about and, what our objectives and our priorities are, and they highlight it nicely. We sat down as a board and decided, those are the 5 key things that we want people to take away from today.
And of course you're the first community trust to take over the football club, aren't you? So you're real trailblazers. How does that feel?
There's some trepidation there, but at the end of the day, I think you have to trust in your own abilities, and I trust in every single member of the board that we've got. They all bring specialised skills, they're all enthusiastic, and that for me is worth a fortune, and I'm certain that together we will be able to work and bring this to successful conclusion at some stage in the future.
What was the driving force behind this? I mean, this hasn't been done before. Obviously there's no personal kind of ego or money.
Absolutely not. I question my sanity at times.
So what was the driving force behind it?
The driving force was the Trust is a very successful organisation now, and it needs to work very closely with its community, and it does do, and some of the work that we're doing is groundbreaking in there. And to link it very closely with the football club would enhance what the Trust does. I mean, it is a charity, but it's a charitable trust. It's a community trust, so it's not a true charity in that sense of the word. It works very closely with the community, and with the football club on board, there's that real close synergy where we can actually further what we're actually doing. and make this a true community club. The driving force personally for me is I've been a long time supporter, and it's broken my heart over the last 5 years to see us drop into non-league football. And if I can do anything to stop the rot with that and push us back the other way, then I will do, and I'll be very privileged to try and do that. And I know that my colleagues either side of me are in exactly the same position on that.
And a word for the councils and the other guys that have supported you in doing this, both financially, I know they've given you a lot of sort of advice and help along the way.
The councils have been magnificent, and I would like to pay tribute to some of the officers there who have helped us get this over the line, because there has been a leap of faith from the councils. Councils don't normally support football clubs to that degree, and the Chief Executive of Chesterfield Borough Council, Hugh Bowen, has been magnificent in this, and so has Peter Hanford from the county. The leaders and the members and the Cabinet have all been supportive of this, and we're also talking to Bolsover District Council as well. They are very supportive, so we hope to be able to talk to them in the near future as well. But yeah, without them this would not have happened. You know, I can't undersell how well they've treated us, and I think it's a testimony to what the Trust has done. The Trust works very closely with Derbyshire County Council, with Chesterfield Borough Council, with Bolsover District Council, with North East Derbyshire District Council, in a lot of areas around mental health and health and well-being, and working in the schools within those areas as well. And I think from that point of view, that relationship is already cemented. All we've done is take it a little bit further, and the fact that they've got the confidence to lend £1 million to us, I think, speaks volumes.
And you're flanked by Dave and Martin, who've both been involved in educational establishment for a long time. You said, Mike, about starting to watch the club as a 5 or a 6-year-old. Just for the other guys, to give them an opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
Just the importance of engaging with younger people in the area to get them seeing the whole place, not just the football pitch on a Saturday afternoon, from a positive experience and a positive mindset point of view, and get them sort of involved right from early doors.
Yeah, David, do you want to pick that up first?
I think I've always said it's vital that you get youngsters involved in the football club. I mean, they are the future of the football club, because when we've all gone, then we need somebody to carry on that mantle. And it's also the education part of it with the Trust. It all fits in nicely with it, and I think it's absolutely vital to get the youngsters involved. So, yeah.
I think, thank you. From my point of view, I think the football club really is at the heart of the community, and when you bring everyone from the community in a place like this, it isn't just about the adults, it's about families, it's about the children, and as Dave just said, that they are the future of the club, and if you can get youngsters enthused with football from an early age, then the future's set for this club as a supporters club, and a club that's back where it belongs with the community. But as far as I'm concerned, as well as an educator, it's not just about the sport on the ground. You can get so much more from football, so many different types of learning that come through football as the centrepiece, and we've proven that as a community trust as well, that there's so many other learning skills, other things from the curriculum, but also emotional resilience, well-being, all of these things that this club can provide, and I think this is an exciting opportunity to do that for not only just schools but colleges and children full stop who want to be here and take part in something exciting.
Yes, we've got our fingers, toes and our eyes crossed.
Yes. The Liam Cooper one is obviously bonus for you.
Hopefully, I've been told that money will be coming into the club next week, so I'm pleased we've got it over the line this week, and then yes, we will be looking very closely to see what happens with Sam Morsey.
We're looking for an inflated
Real bonus, that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be a real bonus.
$5.5 million for him now.
Yeah.
An inflated transfer figure would be really nice.
The administrator would be holding out for as much as possible.
Yes, applaud him for that.
$4.5 million
Yeah.
bonus.
He's just won their Player of the Year, so it should double the fee.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dave Allen had an infamous 5-year plan that he talked about. What would yours, if I was to ask you for a similar sort of plan, what would you suggest?
I'd just like to get over the next few weeks to start with, but I mean, for me, success in the short term would be that in 12 months' time we've managed this club well, it's sustainable, it's paying its way, we've adhered to our business plan, and we're not skirting with relegation. We've finished in the top half of the division. And that's not to say that's what we're settling for. That's not true. I've spoken to the manager, and he is very excited about doing better than that. He wants promotion one way or another, but we're keeping our feet on the ground. Ultimately, it says down there, we want to play in the highest level of football that we can, and we'll take that as it comes along. So I don't want to make any promises that we'll be in the Championship in 5 years, but we will do our damnedest to get ourselves in the best level of football that we can.
On that subject, of course, the decade was split in two, really. There was a
Yeah.
lot of success in the first.
Yes, there was.
But
Absolutely.
over the course of that 10 years, the club's found itself in a much lower position than at the start.
Yeah.
Presumably that's something you want to avoid as an owners as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you think the criticism aimed at the previous regime was fair overall?
To be perfectly frank, I don't want to get into talking about the previous regime and what happened in the past. I want us to look forward. I want us to look forward to this season for a start, and I want everybody to pull together as a club and as a set of supporters to make the future successful, never mind what happened in the past.
Lots of fans on social media have said, hypothetically, they would actually prefer to have been relegated with yourselves running the club than been promoted with the previous regime. So how does that make you feel on a personal level? That's the sort of level of empathy that fans are showing towards your
I'm really grateful. I understand. I don't read a great deal of social media, I have to say, but I understand there's been a lot of goodwill out there in the last 24 hours, and I embrace that. I really thank the supporters for that, and I think it's a great opportunity for the future for the supporters to become an integral part of the club, and we would welcome that. We're all supporters ourselves, and we want everybody to be involved.